what is a healthy relationship, and what does it look like?
There are two things required for a healthy relationship. One is a clear understanding of what that relationship is supposed to carry. Remember, a relationship is a vehicle. Okay, so what is this vehicle going to carry? Okay, and second is trust. If these two things are there, then the relationship works out really great. Otherwise, there's no clarity on where this relationship is going. And come on, if you try to be in a relationship without absolute trust and then try to make it work, really it's over. You're trying to ride a dead horse, you know. So it's only these two things that matter in a relationship. Know what the vehicle of your relationship is carrying and where is it going. So what's the destination for this relationship, and after which it will be dissolved. Everyone is like destination death, and that's what they get. I find it laughable that we haven't got clarity about this very important two things. Or what are we taking to where, like what's going on? What are we carrying? Where are we going? We have to know these two things. Yeah. Think about every relationship as a vehicle and a journey together. Where are you going to? If you don't have crystal clarity on this, it's a terrible relationship. Anyway, that's a good relationship. Now you know.
So, can you give an example of things that people can carry or people usually carry in good
Okay.
relationship?
Let's say I have started a company with somebody, okay, a co-founder. That's a business partnership, isn't it? So that's a great. I like business partnerships because they're so clear, right? We're very clear about what is the goal we're going to do, down to the last rupee, what we're going to earn. All these things have been. We don't start a business without getting clear about all this, right? I mean, some people
Yes.
do, but then you can't even call them business people. But a proper business person will get into this.
Mm.
What are we going to produce for whom? And what's our goal? What are our financial goals? At least for this year, right? What you're going to do. Definitely, every business knows for this year what is the financial goal. I don't know any business that can call itself a business and then have no idea what they're going to do this year. Okay, just a second. Sorry about that. Okay. So that's what I was trying to tell you. Now, can we take this to every other relationship? This kind of clarity. Somebody says, I'm your friend. What does it mean? I want to know before I say, yeah, you're my friend. So what did I just commit to here? What does it mean, right? Does it mean I'll be taking you to hospital when you're ill? Does it mean what kind of friend is this? Like, someone I can trust, rely on, uh, go have fun times together with. What is it? Okay, so if you're a go have fun times together with friend, then I'll contact you on the weekend when I want to have fun. So that's my friend there. It's a good relationship. It's clear. We're going to meet, we're going to have fun. The agenda is very clear. So I want everyone to have clear agendas on their relationship, uh, so that they can experience better happiness. It matters, you know. Everybody being happy matters. So let's talk about relationships. Tell me, Yuvraj.
Okay. So, would you say that having a common goal, like you said, having something that the relationship carries, and trust are the two things that are important uh, they act as a glue for the relationship? Or
Yeah.
is there anything else that needs to be there apart from these things?
You can call both of these the glue because it takes time to win someone's trust. And once you trust someone, you don't want to exchange them suddenly for somebody else. So there's security in it. There's glue in trust. And there's also glue in a common goal. Definitely.
Okay. So I have a question with one of our audience members, which is, how do I break myself from the cycle of the feelings of betrayal? Some days are really good, some days are bad. How do I permanently break from that cycle?
Well, whenever we say we're feeling betrayed, it just means that our expectations were uncalibrated. Do you know the meaning of calibration, right? To
Yeah.
calibrate something, to adjust it according to a certain standard. So, what's the standard you can adjust your calibration to? If I want to set my watch to Indian Standard Time, it's got to calibrate with some central. I don't know how they do it, but it's got to calibrate with something. Okay. So similarly, if I want to calibrate my expectations, I should have the flexibility of changing my expectations. If you don't have this flexibility of changing your expectations, then you will keep your expectation. Even when things are going to dogs, you'll claim that you know this is your expectation. You know it's not going to be met. You still continue that expectation. Why? So a lot of people do this. They stay in relationships with the expectation that the other person is going to heal suddenly, and they'll have a great relationship after that. These are expectations. Okay, so we really got to control what we expect. Can we change it at will? Can you? If you can, then you have opened one door to happiness, isn't it? You can come to happiness through many doors, but this is a direct door you can open into happiness. So just be
Mm.
flexible on your expectations. It's so easy to do. It's called shit happens, move on. No, that's what it is. It just means that when things don't go the way you expect, change your expectations. You have to calibrate your expectations with what's going on. How do you expect something to happen that's not possible to happen? That's where all these manifestation teachings come in. People are looking for some occult method to make their relationship work. Reiki, or not Reiki, Reiki is not occult, but you know, some kind of talisman or something. Go do some pujas, hire someone, Vashikaran.
Yeah.
What would be the need for Vashikaran if he knew how to have decent relationships? Oh my God. Anyway, everyone thinks they're an expert on relationships. You see how many people turned out for this talk? Because everyone
Yeah.
thinks everyone thinks they're an expert. Those of you who came here, thanks for coming, because you don't think you're an expert. So that's good. Good idea. We learn a lot when we don't think that we're experts.
So there's another question with one of our audience members, which is, how can I create a zone for myself that others can't step into, so that I don't have to draw a Lakshman Rekha every time? I'm willing to help, but I don't want to be taken for granted in any relationship.
No, don't be lazy to say no. You will be continuously saying no, and there is a way and a method to say no and still retain the relationship. Because when you're saying no to someone, you're disagreeing with them. You know what kills a relationship? Disagreement. Let's understand this. There's nothing else that kills a relationship. The two people can't agree on something, and that's how they part ways. You know. So somebody has an affair, okay, and one person agrees that they should be having an affair. Other person disagrees that this is a very bad thing. So that relationship is over. Okay, so even if it ended like by cheating or whatever, it's actually disagreement. Let's understand this. Disagreements, unbendable disagreements kill a relationship. Each disagreement is a nail on the coffin of the relationship. Let's understand this. It's very important not to disagree. to quickly come to agreement. That means you have to make them agree to your no. Otherwise, a relationship is going to suffer a lot. Its quality is going to come down. Okay. So you need to be very clear why you're saying no. And if it's a reasonable no, then the other person will say, okay, right? You have to know that when you want to say no. And you have to express your vulnerability. Now, this is so hard. It's a mouthful to say also. That's why people don't have it, right? Vulnerability like this much. Mouthful. But you have to express your vulnerability. You have to say that this is why I'm vulnerable. This is what can happen to me if I go along with what you're saying. This is what I'm afraid of. People can't open their mouth and say what they're afraid of. They can't because they think the other person will not care about them, their fears. And they confirmed it 2, 3 times. I have expressed my fears before. But have you expressed it as your fears? People who go and express their fears, they don't express it as their fears. You know, they go and express it as the other person's faults. They people have a tough time talking about their fears, you know. So if you can't talk about your fears, forget about being in a relationship. Forget about it. If you don't have the space to come out and talk about your fears, then you cannot disagree. I mean, you cannot say no. Okay, saying no is also actually agreement. Okay, but in most relationships, when someone says no, it becomes disagreement. It's not agreement. It's no disagreement. But actually, being able to say no successfully means you come to agreement about your no. You're like, yeah, that's what it is. Or you come to agreement that your no was stupid if it's being analyzed. But it's you had to put your fear on the table and you have to be open to this analysis. If you can't do that, your relationship is going to go to the dogs. How do I know? I have sent many relationships to the dogs. That's how I know. God.
Why do people say that to whom you love the most, you also fight with them the most? And respect is more important than care, as sometimes I feel that those who are elder, they may not be doing something right, and but I become silent. And should I show respect and be silent, or should I say to them with care?
But what kind of multi-layer question is this, man? Ask one question.
Okay. So there's one question which is, some people say to whom you love most also tend to fight the most. Is this true?
Okay. In what crooked universe is this true? In what messy relationship is this true? Yes. This is such a messy relationship. I don't get into a relationship expecting that I will be in fights. This is not what I came to do in this relationship. Is it part of the agenda? No. Did we say, okay, we'll fight Tuesdays to Thursdays? At least schedule your fights now. No. Why is everyone fighting? छोटी बच्ची हो क्या? What is this? Why can't we be mature? Is it so hard? Is it so hard to reparent yourself? It's not. You're an adult. You can take all your unhealed childhood ideas. Okay, you'll have to like excuse me for a second because it's somebody coming here to do some repairs. Okay, so I'll just put this on hold for a second.
Okay. In the meantime, if the audience has any questions, please feel free to add them to the comment box.
I'm back.
Go back.
Okay, sorry about that. So, what is this? Like, you fight with someone that you love them, and God, it's not even computing in my brain. But some people believe this shit. I'm aware. I know some people believe this shit. because that's been their experience. You can't conclude about love from your experience. Maybe you don't know how to love right now. How about that? Our ego doesn't let us see that our lack of skill exists. If you have a lack of skill, but you make a conclusion that the thing itself doesn't work, then what's wrong with you? Like it's just so. Whoever says it, no, it just bounces off my, it slides, it's sliding off my ears. It's coming like this, and it's sliding like this. These words. What else?
Okay.
Next.
Uh, so sometimes, so this is again audience question. Sometimes I feel that those who are elder are not doing some things right, and instead of telling them, I become silent. So should I show respect to them and be silent, or should I express it to them with care?
Look, this is a problem with joint families, right? So you end up with a thing called elders, and elders are supposed to know everything more than you, even though their life experience has nothing to do with what you're doing right now. World has changed since they were active as youngsters, and now the experience that they have is from another era. Okay, so it's like asking somebody from another era what they would do with your problems. It's just not work. You go and ask a caveman, "Hey man, can you repair my cable? You have so much experience on this earth. Can you repair my cable?" Because that's how fast things are changing around us. No, first I was born. We didn't have a name for this generation, and then there came the millennials, and after the millennials, now we have Gen Z. Now Gen Z is having kids. Okay, this is a big generational gap. I can't even understand Gen Z. I'm trying my best. I'm getting there. So if Gen Z comes and asks me some advice about something that they do, I don't even know what they do. They connect with something where they just get on a video chat with strangers. And it's called something. I wouldn't ever do that. Oh my God. Why would I go and chat with strangers? But Gen Z does it. You know, they get on this app and then they can find strangers to chat with, a video chat with. Are they lonely? Don't they have like real friends? But that's different, right? We have to respect it and try and understand it. So now if Gen Z is asking me a problem about something about, you know, how they should handle this thing when they say that on an open chat, and I'm like, I'm not getting the context because I'm too old, elder, to advise them about that. You understand? Your elders are like that. They can't advise you because the world has changed since they were around. The pardas are falling off of our financial system, and Bitcoin is on the rise, and we're like, we're just sitting and watching technology change every 5 years, isn't it? So we need some kind of respect for the new generation as elders, but it's not there. Everyone's arrogance is a skyscraper. Okay, they watch too many of those Aloknath movies, you know, and they are like that, some scurries. Now, what do you want to tell them? Nothing you can tell them. They're not open to communicating with you. They haven't asked you anything. So you can't tell them anything. Whatever you want to do it in a way that you don't get caught, as long as you're living there. As soon as you can afford it, get out of there and live the way you want to live. That's it. Don't complicate it more than that. That's it. Okay. I got a question from Shalini. Shall I answer that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So Shalini Jagdish is saying, how do you let go of a relationship once it's over instead of waiting for an apology? That's exactly what I told you about expectations, Shalini. A bit earlier, I spoke about expectations. And how do you let go of a relationship? once it's over, because it's dead. There's no trust anymore. You don't trust the person. You have to double check everything they say to you. At this point, it's over. But people, after this, after 6 years, then they find out it's over. And then they wait another 6 years, and then another 6 years for the children to grow up. And then finally, they say, oh, it's too old now. I better put up with this. And they still don't trust them. These are the people who die of diseases. Okay? Relationships can kill you faster than cigarettes. Not like cigarettes won't kill you. They'll also kill you. I'm just giving you like a scale. If cigarettes is this much, relationship killing is this much. So because everybody is abusing it, everybody thinks they're qualified for it. People are just getting into relationship without any training and losing their lives. I mean this in all seriousness. I'm so fed up of people going and falling nose first into bad relationships. For this, you listen to your elders, like me. No? Don't wait for any apologies. It ain't coming. Okay? Why would you wait for something that isn't coming? Even if it's coming, you can't trust it. It's not sincere. You got your apology. It's supposed to feel like a victory, but there is no party mood. What is this mood? Is this what you came on earth to do? All of you. Not just Shalini. All of you doing this stupid shit. Stop it. Okay? Okay, good. Hope I answered your question. What's next, Yuvraj?
A certain person is very stubborn, dominating, arrogant, blows matters out of proportion, and their nature stays unchanged and causes a lot of stress for others around them. There is no way of separating or breaking away from this person because they are not a spouse, friend, or colleague. How to cope up with such a relationship in one's life?
I think money solves this problem. If you have enough money to support yourself, you can get out of there. You know? How can you solve this? The person is probably drunk while they're doing all this. They have found their solution, alcohol. And then they'll just do whatever they want. They'll do whatever tandav they want in your house, and you have to put up with it, is it? This is why you came on earth. When you make decisions, understand that you have to make decisions. If you stay indecisive, that is also a decision. Things will get decided for you if you're indecisive. So make decisions. It's okay if they're wrong. Just fail fast and learn and move on. Once you learn and move on, you're invincible for that situation, right? It'll not happen to you again, right? Because, you're invincible for that particular situation again. People don't go into relationships and become invincible to bullshit because they're not calling the bullshit. Hey, there's a big sincerity problem in relation. People hang out with people they don't trust and then they say, I love you. The insincerity has to go. Otherwise, it's just, I don't get into relationships because such a garbage bin.
What happens when there's a child involved in a breakup? Does one leave the child to heal themselves?
You bloody well better heal them because you're the one who made all the trauma for the kid. It's your responsibility to heal the kid. Learn how to heal. I have a healing course. Come and learn how to heal, how to get rid of mental problems. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, uh, Pada 2, Samadhi Pada, verses 30 to 40, have given the secret away openly on how to heal your mind. But people will not understand it because they're coming from another paradigm. And so you have to be shown this paradigm by a guru. That is what gurus exist for. So if you're willing to shut up and learn, I'll teach you. But don't gamble, yeah? Don't come here and think your relationship will get better. You'll get better. Your relationship is garbage. That's why it's not getting better. You can't dress up garbage. If you dress up a pig like a bridegroom, it's still a pig, man. Okay? You put makeup on it also. It's still a pig. They probably eat up the makeup that you put on and lick it off itself, of its own face because it smells good. Okay, so don't dress up a pig and call it your relationship. If you're ready to hear truths like this, then you come and I'll help you heal. Okay, but the thing is now the question is about kids. You have a lot of learning curve to do. How to heal the kid first, how to heal yourself, how to heal, like, learn. Why I've opened this course and I'm sitting, come and learn. Okay. For every kind of stress related problem, the solution is only one simple thing. You have to change your perception of the problem. Okay, that's what I'll do for you. There's a methodology given in yoga to do this. Okay, vitarka badhe. That means uh, opposite opposite thoughts cause problems. Okay, like faulty logic, faulty expectations. Your logic of what will happen next is faulty. That is called tarka. Tarka is the logic which helps you to predict what will happen next. It's a predictive logic. Okay, vitarka means it's turned on itself. It's gone reverse. And the badha which comes out of it, the pain, the suffering that comes out of it, okay, that is vitarka badhe. Okay. And he continues and he says, uh, pratipaksha bhavanam. Okay. So basically saying reverse your logic, recalibrate your expectations. And there's a method to do it. And the method is quite literal. It's written there, okay, but nobody can read it. So I'm teaching this only to my patients, okay? And a lot of people come to me with physical health issues, they caused by relationships, caused by the yelling and screaming and fighting and the shame and blame and constant accusations and stress of a relationship. All my patients have had, and I'm like, I'm actually a relationships coach from a health coach. It's the same bloody thing, you know. Good health is just good relationships, and good relationships is just good health. I hope you understand how deeply this affects your health, you know. So you have to learn not to make your child unhealthy. You have to learn how to keep yourself healthy. Okay. So get ready to learn. Then, you know, you can take care of children. It's just a matter of knowledge. Okay. It's knowledge. You're lacking knowledge. Go and find it. That knowledge will set you free. Don't you want to be free? See, it doesn't seem to be a priority for people, you know, to be free, happy. Yeah. Okay. A few more questions are coming. Shall I answer?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Here you go. Anjal says, are children responsible for taking care of their parents when they are old and weak? Huh. Every human being is responsible for himself or herself. Please take care of yourself. Learn how to maintain a good body even in an old age. I am teaching that also. Okay. And guess who's in my class? My mom. Okay. Because she's learning how to take care of her own body. All right. So there is something to learn here, right? If you don't like me and you don't want to learn from me, go find a teacher who can teach you this. How to keep your body strong, fit, healthy, active. You'll soon be studying the mind more than the body because the mind is what keeps the body youthful, happy, strong, fit, and radiant. Okay? So, are children responsible for parents when they're old and weak? Being old is okay, you can't help it. I'm 46 years old. I can't help it. But being weak, I'm not 46 years weak, okay? I'm pretty strong. Why? Because I work on it. So no secret here. I exercise. I wake up at 5. I do 2 workouts. And I eat well. And I'm growing my body and I understand. And I'm studying more and more about the connection between body and mind. And I'm bringing up my body actually without any pain. I'm growing my body. My body has grown from 50 7 kilos, but I was so skinny and so sick. It's grown steadily and has become 80 kilos now. And it's not fat, it's muscle. It's all packed on like a bull. Right? How it happened? By knowledge of how to keep your body youthful. Now tell me, isn't this everyone's responsibility to learn before becoming a burden on your kids? Do you want to do that? How many of you want to be a burden on your kids? Nobody. How many of you are in my class? Nobody yet. Come and join my class and get fit. Okay? Why is this turning into my commercial? Okay, let's continue. Huh? Anjal is asking a similar question. Okay, he did. Okay. Anshuja. Is it low self esteem that keeps people in ambiguous, ill defined relationships? So, uh, no, it's not low self esteem, it's low self image. And these are very different. Okay. So, self esteem is something that, it's like a steam only. You heat it and then it'll expand. Right? Like steam. It's hot air, it's gas. Okay, it's esteem. So this is self-esteem. So don't steam yourself. Okay, don't have self-esteem. This is something that you can pump up yourself anytime, saying, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm a queen, I'm born for all of these things. And then you watch some Instagram reels and then you're jumping, you pump yourself up. That is called self-esteem. That is very temporary and short-lived, because by evening you're again depressed. Okay, so your affirmations are not going to pump you up. But what is really going to pump you up is having a good self-image. Now, the self-image means to have clearly defined what you are going to be in the next 5 years, and make that your biggest picture that you see in your mind. That's the big picture. It's bigger than any other picture that you see in your mind. Your picture of your fears should be smaller. Your picture of your problem should be smaller. Every other picture should fade in front of this amazing being that you are going to be. That's called self-image. So those who have a self-image placed on their timeline, ki 5 saal ke baad I'm going to be that person, they don't have any problems, because that picture is so big. They're not wavering from their path. They're just focusing and going. Okay. And why 5 years? You can do it for 10 years. You can do it as many as you want. But at least do for 1 year, like who you want to be next year. Not what you want to achieve. What do you want to look like? What do you want to be thinking? What do you want to be wearing? Whom do you want to be interacting with? These are the goals that I want you to put on your timeline. Not, I will build a house. You're not there in that goal. You're not there in that house only. You'll build a house. And who will live in it? Your ghost. No. When people make goals, they don't see themselves in the goal. They don't have any self image. So, okay, now, if you don't have any self image, then you don't know who you are. When you don't know who you are and how you should behave, anything can happen. According to the mood and the atmosphere, anything will happen. Okay, those who have a character, who have a self image, their behavior doesn't change from atmosphere to atmosphere. They'll still believe the same things, they'll still think the same things, they'll still look the same, and they'll still be the same. They'll have the same form. Okay, so yes, self image, guys. Please create a good self image, like I told you. Place it on your timeline, your future of 5 years from now. And that make that picture so big that you wake up in the morning, you should see only that picture, nothing else. If you have good self image, you won't behave badly. If you have bad self image, you'll behave badly. So make a good self image, isn't it? Okay. Why are parents in denial of their son's toxic behavior, even if his behavior explicitly is evident to the entire world? Yeah. So recently, somebody parents brushing off the fact that their son is an extramarital affair. They do this all the time, right? Because they feel it's their personal failure. When the son is behaving waywardly, then it's the parents think it's their personal failure. Society also says these people didn't bring them up. His parents didn't bring him up properly. How many times have you cursed some hooligan and said your parents didn't bring you up properly? So that is why the parents get involved in this, no? So they're like, no, 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 no. How can that be? No, that's not true. Whatever. So they don't want to be blamed that you brought up a misfit, or what? Not even misfit. What is this? You brought up C-type personality. Yeah. Okay. What do you think about homosexual relationships and marriage? Can a healthy child be adopted and raised by gay? Yeah, man. Sure, man. You know, there are people who have been raised by gay people, and it's already proven. They're not criminals. They're doing an honest job. This is not a question at all. There's enough proof. If you'd asked this question early before anybody came out as gay, but now there's been a lot of change, and I know personally kids who have been brought up by gay couples who turned out pretty okay. They're not, worse than any of the other parents. Okay, but they also have to learn the same things. Whether you're gay or straight, you have to learn these things. It doesn't matter. These things are about communication. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, audience questions over. Let's move on.
Some people say a little bit of jealousy is good to have in a relationship because it's an evidence for love. Is this true?
I I don't know whether to. I don't know my emotions when I hear things like this. I feel something weird pain. Like, how can jealousy be good? I just want to know. Like, I've never appreciated somebody telling me whom I can talk and whom I can't talk to. I've never appreciated this. There's some people appreciating it. They're like, oh, see how much he cares for me. He told me not to talk to any of my friends. What kind of relationship is this? It's going to escalate. Yeah, little bit of jealousy is going to escalate into a lot bit of jealousy, and then you're going to have another trust issues. Yeah, what is jealousy? It's trust issues. That means your relationship is what? Dead body. It's a corpse. Okay, you are living with a corpse, and your love is a corpse right now. It's dead. The relationship is gone dead. No, nobody can bear this truth. They find it so hard to listen to this. But guys, if you stop hating me for saying this and actually listen, you know, you could you could be bloody free and happy. Seriously. Okay. It's so clear that I don't like relationships. Anyway, let's go on.
Okay. So, how to find the right partner for a relationship, and is there such a thing as the one or the soulmate?
How to find the right partner? This is a question of, calibrating your intuition. Okay. You calibrate your intuition by calibrating your expectations. That's what it is. Expectations are a big collection of data, which is all referred to create your intuition. But if your expectations are only not calibrated, you'll not have this thing called intuition, right? Knowing without knowing why. But if you analyze it, it'll be there. Okay. So intuition is not magic. If you go and you say why was this intuition there, then you will find the data where this intuition came from. So every genuine intuition can later be explained why it came. It's the ingenuine intuitions that cannot be explained why it came. If you sat and analyze it, you would not know. But in the moment, you don't know. You have this intuition, it's very strong. You don't have time to analyze and check. You just go with it and you get results. Okay. So through that intuition, you can know if this one's going to work or not. But imagine if you had just one person in the whole world with whom you're going to click and have a great relationship. If What if that person died today? How do you know they're still alive? What if your twin soul died, today? Are you also going to die? Let's see how strong is this belief of yours, right? Children who believe in crazy things, right? Fairy tales and fairies, and there are adults who do that too. And they're so uncalibrated in their expectations because they believe their fairy tale. So, yeah, that's why, you're narrowing yourself if you say the one. What if they died, man? What if an asteroid fell on their head right now? Then what? Are you going to die too? What's the rest of your belief system? You know, at least have a belief system, right? Not just one belief. There's a one, and never analyzed it. Or what if something happened to them? Then what happens? That should have happened in the past, right? A few of the soulmates would have died, and while the other one is alive. And then what happens? So there's a whole belief system attached to it. Then yeah, you sit and believe it, and okay, good for you. You'll find the one someday, right? Because there'll be somebody else who believes the same shit, right? You'll find her. If somebody else believes that they're looking for their soulmate, and you also believe they're looking for a soulmate, you both find each other. Say soulmate, 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 soulmate. Okay, but I'm wasting my breath, Because okay, what's the second part of the question? Okay,
How
that
to,
I
yeah.
answered it. Yeah. Okay.
What happens if there are no big goals in a relationship? No, nothing to carry.
Then that relationship will be over. Officially over, but you can still carry the empty bottle and think that you have something in it. Elixir of life inside. But it's only gas. And Shuja has a question. When one dies, movies are made on it that romanticize the idea even more. Okay, it's not a question. Yeah, she's right.
Can taking care of the family and fulfilling its needs be a good goal to sustain the relationship?
No. What is this? Why are we together? To be together. Doesn't it make sense? No?
Hmm.
Anyway.
Okay. So, is there a goal to uh, sexuality other than making babies?
Of course there is. There have been 8 tantras written on it. Okay? It is a great path to spiritual evolution, to understanding dimensions. It's like tripping on uh, psychedelic substances. It is a mind altering experience, which, if done ritualistically daily, you can have wonderful help in living your life from higher parts of existence, which is the god realms. And it's a valid practice in the left hand path of Tantra. One of the, panchamakaras, there are like, they say there's 5 things on the left hand path. And they all start with Ma. Maithunya or sex is one of them. And this is a very respected and validated method among the tantrics, the genuine ones. I'm not talking about the guy who takes 50,000 to kill your enemy with some tantric ritual. Not that guy. Okay? I'm talking about the masters who live in the mountains, where I went and lived. I received a lot of those lessons. And the all the tantras, so there are 64 tantras, of which 8 are Yamala tantras, which discuss the topic of Maithunya. but also how that becomes a lens, an eye, where two people can have an experience of God, or whatever you may call it, some two people, let's call it a psychedelic experience, okay? Like, but it's not like that. It's different. It's totally different from a mushroom trip or an LSD trip or some other trip. It's not a trip. It's a vehicle again. So there's a lot about it, but then people have made conclusions. What is sex, right? Door closed. Don't no. Don't give me more information about door closed. Okay, closed. Okay, let's take a break and answer some amazing questions. How do we forgive the person who betrayed us? Do not ever forgive someone who betrayed you. Get them out of your life. First answer. Okay. Now, what kind of foolishness is it? You lost trust, you'll continue the relationship or what? Okay. Please don't do this. Shalini is saying, speaking of intuition, how do you distinguish between gut feeling and feeling a trauma wound? So this is calibration again, right? Yeah. There's something called calibration. If you sit and practice the guitar, you'll get calibrated to the strings. You'll be able to play it. So you sit and calibrate to this. If your question is like, how can you distinguish between gut feeling and feeling a trauma wound? You can feel the difference. They are different. Okay, a gut feeling doesn't come with that emotions that a trauma wound comes with. Does a gut feeling come and make you sad? Doesn't real intuition come with awesome, like eureka moments of euphoria? No? Don't you know the difference? Come on, yeah. You're asking me what's the difference between a shirt and a pant? Okay? Okay. How to smoothly escalate a platonic friendly relationship to a romantic one? Well, smoothly also, not roughly at all. I don't want enough time. I want to smoothly end up in bed. Just, ask directly, is there any chance of you finding me attractive and wanting me? And if the answer is no, then you better run. Because it's never going to happen, bro. You waiting for that moment where she'll slip when she's emotionally like down, and then you put your hand around her and say, don't worry, daddy's here. No, it's not going to happen. Okay? Don't wait for that. Move on. Don't waste your time. Yeah, don't waste your time. अभी बोलने का बोल दिया, तेरे को करने का तो करो. You'll feel happy. I meant forgiving the betrayer in the sense to move on separately, but hold no grudges. Arey Baba, please hold grudges. Otherwise, you will go forgive them everything, and they'll come back into your life. Before you know it, you don't have any feelings when they come. You're like, yeah, I don't have any negative feelings towards you. Then they'll say, can I come for breakfast? You'll make dosas for them. Like, you have to bear something, no? There's something called filter. This is called filter. Please install a filter and stop calling it grudge. Okay? You why you want like hold no grudges against each other? He should not hold a grudge against. He will. He would have stored your number as something, unforgiving bitch or something. He would have stored your number. You don't know. Okay? So you don't know what's going on in the other person's mind, but you better have filters, you have to be careful, all right? Okay. I'm sorry if you didn't sign up for this, I apologize for for this dressing down, but I'm really sorry. But please, it's dangerous to not hold grudges and move on separately. These are all stupid ideas given to us. When we there's something called as healthy avoidance. For that, you should not forget all your grudges. Got to remember them. Got to remember what people do. Who did what? You should have an account. Okay? Don't lose account of how are people around you. How will you navigate your world? Then whom will you trust? Okay? Come on. Right. Okay. VP saying eye opener. All right. Great.
Okay. Does one need to feel intimate or committed to a partner in order to have good sexual relationships with them?
Yeah, it's not a machine, right? I mean, even if you're using like a machine for sex, you need to be turned on in your mind, isn't it? So just through physical vibrations, you cannot have any kind of sexual satisfaction, can you? Yeah. So sex cannot be mechanical. You got to be turned on. You got to be excited by the shape of the other person's body. You got to be excited by who they are. No, you have to be. You cannot get excited by everyone. A lot of men believe that they can have sex with just anyone. You can't. You just can't. Okay, you go try it. You'll start believing you have erectile dysfunction. You just can't sleep with everyone. You just can't. You have to be turned on in order to sleep with them. Okay? So, a lot of people with ED, diagnosed with ED, actually not turned on by their partners. And this is the first thing I ask people, like, are you really turned on by a partner? And they come to me saying, I have ED. And most of them don't give me an affirmative yes. They don't say no also because they feel it's not polite. But nobody says, yeah, of course. Man, she turns me on like crazy. But I can't get it up, really? It's unusual. I'm not saying it's medically impossible. There are a lot of misdiagnosed TD cases. Okay. So Kunal has a question, which is the same question. Why are humans so protective about their toxic sexual romantic relationships, even when they're getting killed in the process? Because, we just can't say, I don't know. That's the problem. It's so hard for people to say, I don't know. I don't know is the beginning of knowledge, guys. Tattoo it somewhere, I don't know. No. If you don't know, then you'll seek knowledge. Right? So if people are in that relationship saying, I got to have figured this out, number one. Number two is, I recently found out that people think that, that other person is going to get better. Things are going to heal. They believe it. You can believe anything. You can believe anything. The earth is flat. You can believe it. There are people who believe it, right? Because you can just believe anything, whether it's true or not. So they believe in their relationship. They're not counting the number of red flags flying in their face every day. So they continue to remain in these relationships, even if they're getting killed in the process. Okay, relationships are the biggest killer on this planet. Biggest est. That's it. Nothing bigger in it. Stop fearing bacteria and some virus. It's nothing, nothing. Be afraid of that relationship. Vaccinate yourself against that. Okay? Because people don't know what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. Tell me honestly, do you have any idea what you're doing? Anybody in a relationship? Do you have any idea what you're doing? Be honest. Nobody knows. So when you say I don't know, then you can learn, boss. When you say I know, then you can't learn anything. Your life will continue as it is. In fact, it will keep getting worse. Okay, because situations do get worse if you do nothing about it. They get better only when you do something about it, unfortunately. Sometimes sometimes it happens. Situations get better without you doing anything. But you should know to calibrate which is which. When do you need to act and when do you need to sit back and let things happen? No. You can't let go and be with the flow all the time. Then what are you? Why you're on this earth? Why you have hands? to poke yourself in the eye and be blind to everything. Huh? Okay. And okay, VP is asking again, how are people capable of jumping from one romantic relationship to the other without giving space for themselves to move on or find a closure? Because the relationship was over long back and closed long back. That's what it is. You kept the loop open, so you're not able to move on. But they've closed it in their mind long back. They're like, it is closed, and this romance is over. It's officially dead. So they're not admitted it to themselves, but they've already closed their relationship. Curtains. It's getting over. Okay. So that's how you feel it's jumping because you're seeing it cut. You're seeing an edited version in your head. It's not what happened. They're moving smoothly from one relationship to the other. It's not jumping. They moved on from this one. This is closed and finished matter over inside their mind, and they're going. Okay.
Okay. I have two more questions. Can we take them now?
Of course.
Okay. So, how would you define being committed in a relationship? Because a lot of people define commitment as being exclusive. So, is there any other definition?
Commit to only one thing, agreement, nothing else.
Okay.
One thing. You can remember it. Remember to agree. Come to agreement. By having a proper discussion that puts forward your vulnerabilities and ask them what is theirs. Discuss vulnerabilities and come to agreement out of care. It's not so fucking hard. Sorry about the language. It's not so hard. Jeez. The number of people not doing it, you might think is the hardest thing in the world, right? You know how many people know driving? You know how complicated that is compared to a relationship? You have to put the clutch and you put the gear and you put watch the traffic and somebody's going to come after you. Dog will run under your car. Anything can happen. A relationship is so straightforward. All you have to do is be honest about your vulnerabilities, discuss it, come to agreement. Commit to this and your relationship will be good. And of course you need a place to go to. Relationship can't be let's have a relationship. What is the goal of this relationship? A relationship. Arey, kya hai ye? Okay, have a goal for the relationship. Like, what is it about? What is this partnership about? You should be very clear about it. Okay, it's just like we want to imitate Bollywood, and this is the partnership. So be clear. You're going to watch Bollywood every day and imitate it. Within 7 days, your relationship will be over if you imitate Bollywood. So people make a mix. How to make a relationship last longer? We put parents' opinion and Bollywood also. Then they found when you put these two things together and society's fear, put these three things together, relationship is lasting. Hey, I fixed it. I fixed it with cow dung. I didn't have to get Fevicol. I saved. No. But people are tapping your shoulder and saying, beta, wo gobar na jo तुमने लगाया है वो cow dung नहीं bullshit है. आपने जेंडर देखा नहीं गेंडे का लिया है something like that. Anyway, so here's another question. People have questions, right? Do children learn relationship patterns while they're young from their surroundings, and can it have a positive or a negative impact on their adult relationships? Of course you learn, right? Bollywood, parents, society, peer, Bollywood, parent, mix it all in a bowl. Okay, take this cordon and put it on your eyes so you can't see anything. Okay. So इसमें parents का mix आ गया ना? No? Why I want to blame parents alone? There's three great forces in this country: Bollywood, parents, societal expectation. Mix it all together. Do it. You want to be happy or to be free of these three things. Think for yourself. Don't agree to everything you hear from your elders, right? I told you about elders. They're not qualified to advise you right now. Things have changed. God, and it's been like this forever. The elders just made this thing. Somebody who was old said, let's put this in a story. We'll make Rama leave. You know, and it's ingrained from those times, from Ramayana times, that we should have this, you know, undying respect towards what our parents tell us. So we carry all of this into relationships. How to deal with, if you don't know how to deal with something, whatever default knowledge is there, people will do, right? Yeah, you're going in the jungle, you find a bear. All the reels you've seen about bears and what you should do, all that will come in your brain. And then you would have read some article on the internet says, lie down and play dead. And you're lying down, maybe where you lie down will be where the bear cub is, you didn't see. You'll get mauled. You'll get like torn into shreds because you went near the bear cub and that was the bear mother, right? So there's something called experience and there's something called information about what to do. That is like the Indian head nod. It gives no value. Right? It does not say yes, does not say no. Ashwin, will you do the work? And the person is like, what did he say? Right? So like this. And she's just saying Hollywood is even more powerful. Nahi, yaar. Hollywood, though, it's in Angrezi. It doesn't hit your dil na, direct. कैप्सूल में आता है ना हॉलीवुड अंग्रेजी में बोल के ट्रांसलेट होकर फिर आता है ना अंदर तो हिंदी हिट्स यू लाइक इनसाइड राइट इनसाइड दिल के अंदर जाता है ना so that's why Bollywood is the biggest influence. Okay. Of course, there are a few people who have, gone to the Thames River and done their ablutions, and for them, English will work. You know.
Okay. I have one more question from one of our audience members. So the question is, Guruji, what is your opinion about matching horoscopes to check marriage compatibility? I've seen couples who can't bear the sight of each other but had a great horoscope match, and I've seen couples who get along so well as if they're indeed made for each other, but astrologers had advised them against getting married as their horoscopes did not match.
Okay, thanks for answering that question correctly. You saw with your experience what happened, right? Astrology is a very ancient science. It was not made by some idiot. It was made by Parashar, who is the father of Vyasa. So I would expect for it to have some value. Okay. But it's like a guitar, it's an instrument. There'll be masters at it, and there'll be people who just don't know how to use it. And the people who just don't know how to use it are the ones that are affordable when you want to check token things like do the horoscope match before we get married. So you'll go to the guy who charges you the least. Go and hire the most expensive astrologer if you want accurate readings. No? Would that make sense? Because he'll be the guy. Why is he paid so much? Because he gives accurate predictions. Now, can't you read something out of the unconscious of the entire universe and then you predict what's going to happen next? Why is that not a possibility? If intuition is a possibility, why not predictive intelligence like this? That you can predict what's happening in the future. It's nothing to laugh about, right? Today, one of my mentors, Antonio, he talks a lot about predictive intelligence. It's a big buzzword in the NLP sphere, right? People are trying to get predictive intelligence, but they don't want to study astrology. They don't want to know how does astrology give you predictive intelligence. No. You should have some humility also. Can you write one of those Sanskrit books? Hmm? How many books have you written before you judge a book like that? Hore Shastra by Parashar. I went to Parashar Lakes. I got goosebumps saying, what a brilliant guy here. This is where Vyasa was born, man. Guys, I was fucking conceived over there. Like, again, sorry for the language. But, sometimes these expletives tell you, like, how deeply you're feeling something, okay? There's no other way I can convey it to you. When I went there, the feeling was, Kunal came with me there. And we both went there, and, we shot a video over there. I don't know. Parashar Lake was asking me something. I don't know what he was talking about. But what an energy to that place. Okay. So if you can understand these things, please don't call me a Hindu apologist or whatever. I'll slap anybody who's not making sense. I'm pretty neutral on these things. Okay. If you're not making sense, you're not making sense. Because your life will not be working then. If your life is working, you're making sense to yourself. All right. So, yeah. So, astrology, in my opinion, is an extremely powerful science of predictive intelligence that human beings developed somehow in this country. And it's a national heritage. But, you shouldn't be learning from just anybody. You got to find yourself a good teacher. Okay? I don't have a good teacher for astrology. I mostly found idiots. So your experience will be like that. Because you went to the idiot for the prediction. Don't blame astrology, man. Okay? Don't do that. Horashastra is it's something like, call it Horashastra. Don't call it astrology. What is this astrology? It's not Linda Goodman. Horashastra, you can't lift that book. It's that fat. Okay? Okay. Little bit respect. For people who come before you who have little more intelligence than you. That'll take you a long way. There is mystery in the earth. People are extremely intelligent and they become extremely stupid. What happened? This is karma, of course, we understand it that way. But there's also some reason why, what triggered it, right? What triggered this event? How come everybody's akal is getting less and less? Emotional well being is going out of the window more and more and more. Have you noticed? More people are mental now than 10 years ago. More people are mental 10 years ago than 10 years ago, 10 years before that. So, what's going on? The DSM, the list of mental diseases, keeps getting fatter. We're not doing something right, guys. Okay. Now, next question. Why do I find it difficult to hold eye contact or think clearly in a conversation with girls that I find attractive? And how to overcome this? I think you have too many expectations that this will happen. You're in the future somewhere in your expectations. You don't have a self image. I explained to you what a self image is. So you're not that guy. You don't know who you are. So when you go in front of a girl, you want to come across as somebody, a character that she can appreciate. But don't do that. Be you. Find out who you are. Create a good and powerful self image of who you are and live up to that self image. Surely that self image is attractive. If you make that self image attractive enough and you behave exactly like that image, you will be attractive to people. Okay? Anyway, you don't know what to say next. You don't know where to go, like where to go with this. Because Bollywood is filling up the gaps. It's better you don't do anything right now until you clean up your head of Bollywood. Maybe you should do my course too, right? Do my course and you'll clean up your brain. It's called a Yoga Siddhi reset. Resets your brain so that you can like recalibrates your brain so that you can make sense of the world. Isn't it a wonderful course? Like nobody has this thing, man. And with this, we're curing chronic diseases. That's the best part. For thousands of people, we've cured chronic diseases by setting the brain right, setting the relationships right. Then, their diseases are going away as the relationship gets okay. Isn't it? Like, difficult diseases doctors are not able to cure, aggressive diseases are going away because they fix their relationship. And even there are some people sitting in the course who don't practice what we've been teaching, and this is normal. Okay, I don't know what to say to them. If they don't have any urgent pain, they've already got a painkiller. The people who have a painkiller, somehow we try to avoid taking them as students. Somehow they slip in and then they sit there, not doing anything. ये भी होता है, दुनिया है. चलो.
Okay. I have one final question. Can I take it now? So,
Yeah.
for some people, they want to find a partner to travel the world with. So, is that a good goal to have for a relationship? And what to do if the relationship's goal has expired? Either it has been completed or it's no longer possible. So, what should we do next? Should
So
we end
that's
the
a very
relationship?
yeah, first one. Very bad idea because your budget is limited. Where will you travel to? You'll travel to a few places, and then that relationship is over because it was only for travel. It doesn't have a long-term goal. There's no stickiness in that relationship because the goal is not audacious enough. It's not big enough. So you really need a bigger goal. Yeah. What's the second part of the question?
What to do once the goal is over in a relationship?
Oh yeah, you move on. What to do when the banana is over? Throw the peel and get another one. No, don't slip
Yeah.
on the peel. Throw the peel in your own way. Slip on it and see how this has made me fall. Don't do that. Okay, cool. I might come across as arrogant or whatever, but the problem is I've been exposed to all these. Baba sent me here, said, go see what people are crying about and help them. So I came here, everyone's crying about relationship. That's why I really know a lot about this. Because I've been through the intimate details of more than 2,000 people's relationships. Before I even started teaching commercially, I was teaching. I taught and taught and taught and taught and taught. And I've heard the intimate details of how I bit my wife, how she bit me back. It's not one or two people who are doing this. Thousands of idiots doing this, beating up each other. Oh, the best is like how they harass during the divorce. The woman, invariably goes and files a dowry case, a dowry harassment case, whether it's true or not. What is the standard operating procedure? Where did it come from, man? There's a standard operating procedure there of criminal activities in the name of relationship. And I've listened to every bit of this shit. Up to my years, I'm seeing people stupidly just not able to be happy. So much brain, this much neurons, so much internet, and you can't be happy. You need a partnership to be happy, really. Happy is something you have to be on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Do not make happiness the goal of a relationship. If you're not happy, don't get into a relationship. Okay? Kunal is saying it's like taking a poop on the bed. He's described relationships. Yeah, correct.
I think he's
Yeah.
talking about that Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah, like the divorce, right? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, everybody saw that shit, right? That's the future of relationships. Get memes made about your bad relationship. Something to aspire to. Relationship goals. Okay, so are we
Okay.
done? It's been
Yeah.
15 minutes. Okay, that's great, guys. I hope you got some clarity, and if you really found value, then type uh, found value FV in the chat box. Okay, type found value if you found value in this talk. And if you're going to share, type GS, going to share, and share it. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Do you have anything to say, Yuvraj?
Yes, so if you're watching on YouTube and you want to keep seeing this kind of content, this kind of informative content, then please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell icon.
All right. Great. Thank you so much. Bye, Yuvraj.
Bye bye.